we see the Super Bowl and we see your quarterback room, okay? It's not just you, it's Chad in there as well. And then we see that he's talking about Rick Burkhalter and Julie helping Patrick from Warwick High School. There's all kinds of LL connections with this Chiefs team.
No, it's crazy. There's PA across the board, even with Brett Veach, our general manager, being from Mount Carmel. So it's we kind of joke about it a lot, and Chad and I are always bragging to Patrick and Shane Buechele and Chris Oladukin in our room with Pennsylvania football versus Texas and Florida football. We stand strong, we tell a lot of good stories, but it's so much fun. And I go back to thinking when I coached against Chad at Cedar Crest when he was at Wilson, and he put up like 400 yards passing on us, but great relationship. It's just been so much fun for me. I didn't know Chad going into this year, so to be in that room now and be with Patrick, and Chad's such a great mentor to Patrick in that room, and it's really a lot of fun.
I watched him as a ninth grader. I mean, he was impressive as a freshman, and I think he was the same size. I mean, he was huge at that point. But, everybody's journey is strange, but to see him still going and still doing his thing. And how does a quarterback come in ice cold, Matt, and drive 98 yards down the field? How is that?
It's the preparation throughout the week. I mean, his preparation is second to none, Chad, with how he goes about the week, preparing like he's going to be the starter. And there's a lot of times that these guys work and put in extra time that no one sees. For me, fortunately, after every practice, Chad goes out with myself and our assistant quarterback coach and goes through all the practices, all the reps in practice that we scripted. He'll go through them all by himself. He'll get the throws in, his footwork, etc. And so, he can never say, hey, I didn't get this or didn't get that. And that's a credit to him. He's been doing it his whole career. And for him to come in and go 98 yards at such a pivotal time in the playoffs for our team at home, I just had goosebumps after that happened. And he was so excited, and no one deserves it more.
When you start any career and you look at it, and it's exciting when you get a job in your dream field, but then you think, man, 5 years down the road, 10 years down the road, where could this lead me? Think about quality control coach with Andy, with the Eagles, and here you are with the Super Bowl, with Andy, with the Chiefs. You just never know what's going to come about, but think about that whole journey for yourself, and what comes to mind, I guess, along the way. There's got to be so many moments for you.
So many moments. I just go back to 2010 when I first got the job. Prior to that, I was selling houses for Keystone Custom Homes for a year, wondering kind of a fork in the road of where am I going with my career. And Coach Reid calls, and before you know it, I'm working for the Eagles, and I was driving basically 100 miles back and forth every day, and you guys know that trip on the turnpike. But now I look at those moments and those times when you're grinding and putting so much time in to now be able to get to the Super Bowl with your mentor, with Coach Reid, with Brett Veach, with Patrick. This is what it's all about. Now the key is, as we've talked about all week, it's great to get here, but we got to win it, and that's the only way we'll be satisfied.
So the other part of this is the training staff with Rick Burkhalter.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously you knew Rick in Philly as well, and then Julie too. They gave her a lot of love on social media about getting Patrick ready and the plan to get his ankle together for the AFC Championship. So talk about that training staff and the consistency and what that means to a quarterback and to a team.
They're amazing. I know Rick Burkhalter ever since I've been in the league with Coach Reid, and we've always talked about the PA connection that we have, very similar personalities, and he's just been so great for this organization in Philadelphia and here in Kansas City. And then for him to bring on people such as Julie, who have come in, and right away, the first time I met her, hearing that she was a Warwick Warrior, was pretty cool. And now to get to this point in the season where Patrick hurts his ankle, and she's the one, really putting in all the work to get him where he needs to go. She's coming up into my office every day with the different types of game changers and ice, whatever it is to get his foot right while we're watching tape. She's in there getting him whatever he needs to do it, and that's why she got all that credit. And Patrick will be the first to tell you that she's been such a huge help for him.
Lastly, I want to ask you about the head coaching experience that you got at Chicago, what you learned from that part of it. Everybody, you have assumptions, you want to go do things that went right, things that you maybe do a little bit differently. What did you learn from that experience and you can take into potentially the next opportunity for yourself?
Well, probably the biggest thing is, number one, when you get an opportunity like that, you want to go in there, you want to be very successful, and I think right away we had that instant success going 12-4 and winning the division. Had a lot of great relationships, trust that was built. We learned how to win. Now you got to sustain that, and in this profession, it's not easy. but at the same time, it's about production and winning. The results. What are the results? And unfortunately, that last year in Chicago, we didn't win. Although we did make the playoffs 2 out of 4 years, and I think we changed the culture there. So I'm proud of that. And there's times, little instances within my 4 years there that I think we did a lot of great things, but there's some things that I think I could have learned as a head coach on how to handle. And if ever given an opportunity down the road, I'm going to use every one of those to make me better, which I think will make our team better. And in the end, that's part of the journey. And I'm so excited for this opportunity.